Hi, my name is Adrian Santos. I'm part of the EFPO team, and in this video, I'll be talking about how to maintain the local database Docker image that we use in order to be able to run EFORT locally. I'll be talking about where to find the image, what does each file mean, how to update the image, and finally how to update Docker Compose to run locally. In the EFORT functional test repository, you can find this repository by going into EFORT. In here, you will see all the repositories available, and it is the EFORT-functional test repo. And here you will see a set of folders, one specially called SQL scripts. If you head on in there, you will see EFORtDB and MSSQL. But the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and clone this repository. You just copy over the HTTP in terminal. You may then do git clone the HTTP, and you'll be able to clone the repository. Awesome. So the next thing we're going to take a look at is what does each file mean. So once you pull down the project, you'll see the EFORtDB folder, and here you'll see 4 files. I'll start off with Docker file. Docker file is of course the actual Docker image. The first section here, all it's doing is it's pulling a MSSQL server from Microsoft. It's pulling an image of an MSSQL server and using that as the base for the virtual machine. After that, we run just a couple of Linux commands: apt-get update, install unzip. This section here installs the SQL package for Linux to be able to make it executable. This copy commands will actually bring over these 3 files into the virtual machine. This here is just setting up a couple of environment variables, especially for the database. So this is the database name. It's running on localhost. The MSSQL user is SA, and the SA password is this one right here. So after you set up the environment variables, you will then have see a couple of scripts that are being run. A couple of commands, better to say. So the first one is just bringing up SQL Server. The second one here, it is removing any old databases that exist. And the third one is just bringing up the same database backup, EFORtDB, with the individual settings right here. So the change password SQL script, all it does is just change the EFORT user password to be this. This is needed on Macs, as Macs require a strong password. The backpack file is pretty much what you will most likely be changing. Whenever an update has to be made to the database, all you have to do is just copy over the new backpack file into this folder and build a Docker image, which I'll show you how to build in a second. And this is just another SQL script just saying to drop the old database if it already exists. Awesome. So the next part is going to be how to update your image. As I already mentioned, it's fairly easy. The main thing you're going to have to do is just update the backpack file. So if I head on over back to Visual Studio Code, all you really have to do is just put in here the new backpack file with the new information, and then you build the image. So that's actually what I want to get into. Now, just before I get into building your image, Docker offers this thing called Docker Hub, in which you're able, it's essentially a GitHub, in which you're able to push those images up, and then everybody can pull them down. And this plays a big part, especially in using Docker Compose to be able to bring up instances without people actually having to have these files in their machine. So we'll get to that a little bit later. So for now, once you updated the backpack file, go ahead and head over to a terminal and go into the EFORtDB folder. In there, you're going to run this command, docker build -t for the tag, and then you're going to put whatever name you want the Docker image to have. In my case, I am using asantos1031, which is my Docker Hub account. If you're going to push it to your Docker Hub account, which I definitely suggest you do, you're going to have to put that first, and then / whatever the image name will be. In this case, I'm using EFORtDB, and then a period at the end, meaning to just find all the files in the folder that I'm currently in. So once I press enter, you'll see that the Docker image begins to build. Awesome. So as you can see, the image is built, and you can check that by doing docker images. And you'll be able to see that asantos 1031/effortdb was built 10 seconds ago. So that's essentially how you actually update the image. We can even bring it up to test to make sure that everything is working. So in order to bring it up to test, you can do docker run -p 1433. This is the default port that MSSQL uses. So -p signifies port forwarding. So you're port forwarding the images, the containers port 1433 to the local machine's port 1433. So you'll be able to pretty much access the virtual machine through that port. Once I hit enter, oh, sorry. So it's actually not effortdb, it's asantos 1031/effortdb. And as you can see, the image will start up. Once it fully loads, you can then head over to Azure Data Studio and double click on the local host. And then for the password, you're going to have to use the password in the Docker file, the SA password. So just go ahead and copy that, paste that there, connect. And then you're connected to the server. If you go on databases, then you can actually see the effortdb with all its tables and the users. So the last item I want to talk about is how do you actually update the Docker Compose to be able to run locally. And as I mentioned before, Docker Hub is a great tool because once you actually push that image up, you're able to pretty much access it from anywhere. And anybody can do that. So if you head on over to the project folder under MSSQL, you'll see the Docker Compose. All this is doing is saying, go to Docker Hub, find the user asantos 1031, find the image asantos 1031/effortdb with the latest tag, meaning just the most updated version of it, and then ports forward the images 1433 into my local machine's 1433. And then once anybody just does Docker Compose, this will actually connect to Docker Hub, pull the image down for you, and bring it up. You don't have to do all that manual work in building the image yourself and going through all of that. So I definitely suggest using Docker Hub. Once you push the image to your own repository, all you have to do is just change from mine's to your own. And to push to a Docker repo, it's fairly easy as well. It's as simple as just doing Docker push and then the name of the image, in my case asantos 1031/effortdb with the latest tag or whatever tag you want.